So welcome to my life. You can see behind me there's an awful lot of that white stuff, and winter makes it really difficult to compost. Let me show you. I get the trudge out here to my compost bin and unfreeze the lid and then throw my compost scraps in there. And of course now nothing is decomposing because it's midwinter, but this is what I do to save all my compost scraps in 14-degree weather. Total pain. We have a solution to get past all this in winter. So my potential solution is this food waste composter. Could not have arrived at a better time. KARFO sent us this food waste composter to test out, and so we're just going to give it a trial run and see how things go. So this is called the KARFO ECOSTAR S1. I've been saving up food scraps about a week now, so we're going to give this guy a workout. So you press this button here to open it up, and then this is the filter. And we just turn this. This is a charcoal filter. Remove outside sticker and inner sticker. So this is going to do the job of keeping the smell down, and supposedly it's not going to stink. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and put this filter back on. That's how you open it right there. And that's locked. Open and locked. There's a whole list in here of things that you can put in and can't put inside of it. It's a lot probably like a garbage disposal. There's some things that you just don't work in a composter or a garbage disposal. Edible oils, fats, soaps, liner bags, diapers, cigarettes, metal, avocado pits. Most of these things in the don't side are those things that wouldn't go in a garden anyway. And these are all just your typical things: fruits, vegetable leftovers, food scraps, meat crumbs, fish cartilage, soft shell eggs, eggshells, shrimp, skin, coffee filters and grounds and tea bags, nuts, starches, dairy, house plants and flowers, and garden trimmings. All that can go in here. So take a good look at these things before you get too far. This is an aluminum bucket. This is dishwasher safe whenever it needs cleaning. In the directions it sounds like a monthly cleaning time, which that doesn't sound like that's too bad to me. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and put in the things that I've been saving here for about a week. Coffee filter and grounds. Just put it in there. This is an avocado skin, no pit. Some eggshells. Another avocado skin. There's a line all the way around here that is the 3/4 line, and that is where the max fill line. So I probably have more than enough to fill this today, but we'll just go ahead and put a good variety of stuff in there. Onion skins, onion cuttings, green pepper, leftovers. Just dump it all in there. Pretty good collection. Got a celery stalk, and they said it's better if you cut this stuff up a little more, so that's what I'll do. Just to make it a little bit smaller. Probably is going to speed the process if nothing else. And they do talk about if it's too moist, it will take longer. Same thing, it doesn't want it to be too dry, and you can add a little bit of water. It said 100 milliliters of water if it seemed like it was too dry. I'd say this is probably just perfect. The coffee grounds are pretty dried out, but the vegetables have a fair amount of moisture to them. So, and looking at this, I've already got it kind of full, I would say, kind of to the 3/4 line. And they said don't jam it in there, so I'm fighting that temptation. And just by looking at how much I'm getting in there at this point, this is about a week's worth of stuff. I'd probably want to do this every day or every other day just to keep ahead of it. It just says put the lid down. That's that, and then plug it in. It has 2 cycles. It's a quick cycle if there's very little moisture or a small load, and that's about 2.5 hours. And the second cycle, which is what we're going to do because it's full, we'll plug this in and we'll do it for 5 hours. KARFO sent this to us to try out. If this is something that interests you, we have a discount link in the description. It's 99 bucks off. A pretty good deal. All right, well, let's see how it did. I ran this last night and it ran for a little over, let's say 3-4 hours. And there we go. That's what we have remaining. And there's some fiber, and I'm guessing that's the fiber is probably from the coffee filters. It's very light and airy. And remember before when I put this in, this whole bin was up to this line right here. So a pretty good amount. And now it all fits basically into a cereal bowl. Exceedingly light. It is, yeah, that's remarkable. Maybe a little bit of a celery smell, a little bit of a coffee smell, but very, very faint. Yeah, that really did a remarkable job. Now this can be stored and without that rotting sensation, so long as it stays dry. This whole process took about a little over 3 hours. I have an energy monitor, and my energy monitor says it used somewhere between 630 and 700 watt hours. So that would be at 15 cents, right around 10 cents. And now I don't have to go outside. So let's do another test run. And this time I'm going to go ahead and weigh everything. I zeroed out the scale with this bowl, and we're just going to measure the stuff we put in here because I am curious to see how much it reduces the weight. So again, just miscellaneous vegetable scraps. I'm going to cut up the cauliflower, or cut up the celery here just to kind of reduce it a bit and make it take up less room. Yeah, I'd like to do to get the most amount of material in there without overfilling it. Eggshells. I'm not going to break these up this time. I think we'll just go ahead and leave them as is and see. So filters and coffee grounds. We're at 695 grams. We'll go ahead and put this in here and see how much of this we can get in. Oh, that fit in there real nicely. Still have room. That was a big bowl worth. A bag of old cranberries that we never got to use. $6.95 and $2.15. So $9.10. That makes for a garden-worthy bit of compost there. So we got just over 900 grams. So it starts like that. I want to choose the middle one. That's the bigger one. Then I hold it. There we go. It's running, and you can hear it. It's a bit of a fan sound. Not objectionable, not really objectionably loud. More like background noise than anything. So I looked at my energy monitor, and it seems like this heats up for a minute and then turns off, and then heats up for a minute and then turns off. And it seems like it does that cycle. All right, so it's all done. All three of the buttons light up. The quick run, the standard run, and then that last one is for cleaning. And so when all three of those are light up and are solid, it's done. It also beeps when it's done. I didn't hear it, but I saw these three light up. The directions say that they blink continuously when it's done and when it's running, but not this one. So just FYI. All right, so we had 900 grams that we put in here in the second run. And this one took a good 5 hours. Maybe a little more moisture in this one, but there you can see it. And pretty fibrous. That's those coffee filters, I think. We had 200 grams last time, or 900 grams when we put it in, filled it. And now that it's all done, we have, wow, 240. A reduction of 75%. This is about 1 week's worth of vegetable, fruit, and coffee grounds and coffee filters. Pretty good amount of stuff that I'd saved up. And the first batch, this weighs 200 grams. This one weighs 240. So my guess is that we probably had well over 3 pounds of beginning material, and it's down to a little less than a pound, or 440 grams. I can probably get another 2 weeks in that. That's about a third full right there. The first run I did out in the garage, this one I did inside the kitchen, and I did notice that this time there's a slight smell to it, but not objectionable. You can just tell because it's venting. As it's drying, it's venting out here, and even through the filter, you can still smell a little something. It's hard to describe, but again, it's not objectionable. Overall, I'd say that this turned out to be a pretty handy little tool. And certainly, if you have winters like we have winters, and you don't want to be trudging outside to put scraps in a compost bin or pile, I can easily make it another couple months doing this. Now, the one caution is this isn't compost in the traditional sense, but it is, they say, add it to your garden, your regular garden soil 10 to 1, and one of these 10 of soil. And once this moisture gets to this, it'll start decomposing fast. The one thing about a compost bin outside is that they say that the smaller you make it, the quicker it will decompose and turn into compost. Well, this is as small as it can possibly get. And for that reason, it's going to be super handy. I did a little research, and one thing I read is don't let this get wet. Once it gets wet, it'll smell bad real quick. Save it in a dry place till you can get it to your garden. If you've ever used something like this before, or you have any comments about this, let us know. This is brand new to me. I've never had one of these before. What I've seen so far, I really like. It's going to be super convenient for me, especially in the winter. But it's a real nice way to get your fruit and vegetable scraps into a super fine powder and ready for the garden. Thanks all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.